Yo guys, welcome back to my channel. So my friends, welcome to this all new great episode, guys. About tissue engineering and about artificial in vitro fertilized meat. So my friends, if you basically want an sort of an succinct but not comprehensive explanation, as to what is actually lab grown meat, then guys, you have really come at the right place. So guys, in this video, I'm gonna deal with as to what is exactly what is exactly the lab grown meat, guys, and what are the the potential growth mediums which are basically available out in the market, guys, which we can actually use for the purpose of recreation, guys, of that meat in the laboratory. So guys, even in the past video graphicals, guys, or rather the past results, as I've explained to you, you know, the lab grown meat, as a meat, which is basically artificially engineered or rather synthetically cultivated, in a laboratory, guys, through the incursion of the cell culture and even the in vitro fertilization, guys. So basically, guys, there happen to be lots of instrumentalities or rather modus operandis, guys, in industry out there, which are basically used, to offer large scale fabrication or rather formulation of meat, guys. Like there are simply large ultra numerically ultra scale 3D printing 3D printing mechanisms, guys, which are basically present over there in the United States, guys, and even in the Britain, guys, and which the scientists and engineers, guys, basically the geneticists, guys, and even it involves a panel of bioethicists, guys, but which are working in a confluence, or rather, which are working in a strong nexus, or rather collaboration, guys, to basically, all for institutionalization of that so-called lab-grown meat, guys, and make it a make it really widespread. Now, guys, basically, what I gotta say about the 3D printing mechanism is, guys, that basically, there are bioefficient three-dimensional printing or rather rapid prototyping mechanisms or rather printing mechanisms or rather sources or rather additive manufacturing sources or instrumentalities or rather electronics engineering instrumentations or rather industrial engineering instrumentations which are out there in the meat industry and as I've already told you guys that meat industry, the conventional abattoir or rather slaughtering or rather the butchering meat industry is itself responsible for a vast degree or vast majority of the greenhouse gases or rather the greenhouse effect which is basically potentially causing a deleterious effect, guys, to our nature or to our mother earth. So guys, in order to basically combat this so-called issue, guys, scientists and engineers or rather the biotechnology specialists or rather the bioengineers or even the genetic engineers or geneticists or even the people from the stream of bioengineering or even the doctors and medical health professionals are working seriously hard, guys, to offer cultivating that meat, guys, inside a laboratory, guys. And basically how's that like you simply are never gonna really gonna have an idea, guys, as to what that meat how that meat is basically generated or rather fabricated or even formulated, guys, before it actually comes to your lunch table or dinner table. So guys, basically, it all depends, guys, onto the bioreactor, guys. So as I've already told you, the bioreactor, happens to be an medical electronics instrumentation, guys, which is basically used in the biotechnological industries, guys, and which basically happens to be an sort of an instrument, guys, which actually has a cylindrical enclosure, guys, and there happens to be the applicability of one so-called principle, guys, which is actually used in the birth from surrogacy, guys. The birth from surrogacy, as those gametes are artificially fertilized in a laboratory, the same principle is basically used even in a bioreactor, guys. Now, basically, guys, what happens is, guys, after performing a small biopsy, guys, on an animal, guys, on a hen or rather a goat or whatsoever meat you are desirous of or rather which is palatable or which is seriously succoring or rather flavorsome or grainy, guys, that meat or rather that sort or rather that segment of meat, maybe the hog meat, maybe the duck meat, maybe the beef, or maybe the ham and meat are obviously the same things, but it's like poultry or mutton or whatever it is, guys. Now I basically, I basically have switched over to vegetarian diet, but still, the thing which I gotta say is that whichever meat you find really palatable, guys. That meat or rather that species or that animal, guys. Is basically, taken, and guys, that animal, basically, obviously, undergoes. Not exactly undergoes, guys, but then so-called small biopsies basically performed, guys, on that animal, guys. And guys, it seems to be so effective, guys, that even a feather of a hen or rather a duck, guys, happens to be so effective, guys. Like basically, if you opt to slice that feather, guys, that feather, which seems to be, as diminutive like my finger, guys. So that feather, which is as diminutive like my finger, guys. That feather, which when sliced, guys, if you examine the cross section of that the internal cross section of that so-called feather, guys, you might find, guys, that even there, guys, the presence of stem cells, guys, the presence of stem cells is found. And something which is so inconsequential, guys, like a feather of a hen and stuff, guys, is basically used, guys, for the purpose of extraction of the stem cells, guys, for the purpose of artificially cultivating that or genetically engineering that in the laboratory. Now, guys, how that works is, guys, that basically in order to separate or in order to basically scan or analyze the stem cells, scientists and and geneticists, guys, are basically microscopically monitoring that so-called feather, guys, of a hen, guys, and after monitoring, guys, with an ultra scale electron microscope, which is absolutely pioneering and neoterically groundbreaking, you can very well find, guys, as to where are the actual stem cells, guys, of that animal. And guys, once when you find the stem cells of that animal, guys, even you can even you can simply even take literally a droplet of the blood of a goat or stuff, guys, and even inside that, you are simply gonna find you are simply easily gonna find stem cells. So, guys, in the form of a petri dish, guys, which happens to be a scientific apparatus, guys, which is often found in the laboratory, So, guys, something which is as diminutive, something which is as small as a petri dish, guys, happens to be the thing, or rather the substance, or rather the object, onto which that so-called blood, is basically kept, or rather on a microscopic slide, and after microscopic electron microscope, after examining it, with the inner assistance of an electron microscope, guys, the stem cells, when they are found, guys, those stem cells basically are having a so-called expansion potential, guys, but that so-called expansion potential, guys, only takes place, guys, under some of the certain crucialities, guys, or rather cardinal exigencies, guys, and which is the oxygenation, guys. Like basically, when that blood, is present inside our body, or rather, in that hen's body, you know, these stem cells, guys, are rapidly expanding, guys, or rather, stem cells, as you obviously know how stem cells work, but if you basically, get injured and stuff, or rather, if you have a cut, guys, there even happen to be the stem cells, guys, which are basically, present, below two levels below your integumentary system, guys, 2 levels below your skin cells, guys, and which when you get hurt and stuff, guys, how does that skin, guys, gets corrected? It's magic, right? But guys, that magic is performed by obviously stem cells. Obviously, that's fundamentally done by God. But still, the stem cells are the one, which do it. Obviously, they are controlled by God. But still, the thing, which I gotta say is that, guys, those so-called stem cells, guys, are in fact, used and utilized, guys, for the purpose of proliferation of that, proliferation of that, proliferation of those muscles, or rather those flesh, or rather, what is called, guys, a flesh muscle, or rather a flesh entity, guys, inside a body, guys, which basically, gives that chunky flavor to that meat, guys. Now, guys, that chunky flavor to that meat, simply, does not come, guys, just from some of the other entities, guys, but it's basically, because of those striations, the striations, the internal striations, which the muscles inside that muscles, or rather the walls and stuff, but inside that, in that flesh, which have in that flesh, which has. So guys, that those all striations, guys, give that grainy or rather that chunky flavor, which you all enjoy. Pardon me, vegetarians, but it's like for vegetarians as well, guys. This happens to be a really great thing. But obviously, even the fetal bovine sedum, does not simply, happen to be 100% vegetarian. But still, this is a really a great motion, or rather a great moment, guys. Or rather a great sign of a revolution, guys. Which is simply going to be a one-stop solution, or rather potential solution, guys, against all the so-called so-called raptures, or rather so-called barbarically heinous or savage or simply bloodthirsty methodologies of killing that animal, guys. Oh my goodness, that is so insane. So guys, that is what is known as a lab-grown meat. So guys, that is about lab-grown meat, and it's like now obviously I'm gonna provide you some of the greater insights about the fetal bovine serum, in another episode. So basically stay subscribed, and please do not skip this video, and if you like it, guys, do not really forget it to share it with your friends, even the friends of the BMS College of Engineering, whichsoever place you are. And by the way, everyone is welcome to my channel, and it's the free exchange of knowledge and stuff, for which I'm making these videos. So see you and have a good day, guys. Bye bye.